You are a vessel of energy, and energy is infinitely existent. Beyond this realm of existence, energy can never die, only transmute into something entirely new. And if you are an embodiment of this immense potentiality, then you too can never truly die. The end of life, death as we say, can be a scary concept for many to comprehend. But the end of this chapter is only the prequel to the next story that is being written by your soul. You currently exist in a three-dimensional place, but within your imagination resides a metaphysical higher dimensional space, and it is this area where you operate as a higher singularity. Perhaps when we die, it is your ego which completes its mission, and that ego which has been formulated through life experience is simply not you. You are the observer of humanity, and humanity is just one piece of the great life puzzle that is definably and
What's up? Welcome back to Wide Awake. New episode. We're gonna get into talking about what it means to operate in survival mode and what that looks like, and taking steps that are proactive so that you can acknowledge where you at in life, and hopefully I can share some insight with you that'll help you recognize the difference between operating in survival mode and then going into what is called creative mode. So to start, I'll define survival mode. Survival mode is living in a state of fear, and because you're in a state of fear, that is where you are controlling most of your decisions. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be in survival mode, because as living beings, we have instinct. We have what's called the fight or flight or freeze responses, where we've been in situations or experiences that teach us how to react or how to respond to situations, whether they are traumatic, or you have to, like I said, fight, flight, or freeze. Fighting is obviously resistant, like, you know what I mean, to whatever is going on. Flight is running away. Freeze, you are so overwhelmed with what's going on that you literally feel stuck, and this can look like a person doesn't care, or that they may appear to be numb to the situation. So this survival mode I want to talk about is basically where the continuous unresolved stress feeling, like, it makes it to a point where if you're in survival mode for too long, you're prolonged to a degree where it's very difficult to relax, or you're unable to relax. Symptoms of the survival mode are struggling to focus, body aches and pains, trouble sleeping, and those are symptoms to where you could really start to recognize, okay, I am operating from this state of survival mode all the time. Some words to describe what survival mode feels like is heavy, pressure, exhaustion, and resistant. So 5 steps that you can do to start to move out of survival mode, or to get your mind to a place where you can operate in creative mode, would be to first acknowledge that you are in survival mode. Self-care. It's hard for some of us to practice self-care. We're very quick to want to help the next person or do for others, but when it comes to ourselves, for some reason we cut ourselves short sometimes. So this could look like even something as simple as taking yourself out to a restaurant by yourself and sitting there and eating by yourself. A lot of people that I know always kind of need somebody around them, or is always constantly asking for, like, other people's perceptions, when we need to trust ourselves more, right? We need to, get into situations where we're being kind to ourselves, where we're reducing stress any way we can, practicing meditation. A lot of people don't realize that they already do meditate. It's just as simple as putting on some music. Obviously, music meditation is a thing. A lot of people don't realize when you put on that music and you cleaning your house, like that's literally music meditation. And ask for help. Like, if you are at a place where you feel like you need to ask for help, don't be afraid to reach out, because even though you might be at odds with family or you might be at odds with people you thought was your friends, there's always somebody out here that feels exactly how you feel, and they might need support as well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a firm believer in that there's always somebody willing to pay it forward or help you in whatever situation you're in. This could be therapy. This could be resources in your community. These could be close people that you might not necessarily want to tell something personal to, like at work or whatever, but they might have that perception or that perspective to give you a different way of viewing something, or a resource that you didn't know about. Reach out for help. Create a plan. This doesn't have to be something too crazy, and I really feel like if you are just focusing on one thing in front of you all the time, that's survival mode, right? That's things that we do in survival mode. Simply because we are just so used to having to focus on what's going on at the time. And this is back to struggling to focus, like, you know what I mean? Because so many different things is happening at one time and being pulled in more than one direction. And it's hard to really know if you really got the right judgment call on what you're making decisions about when you in survival mode. So create a plan, you know what I mean? A plan of action. You know, this could be something as simple as your routine, or pulling out a calendar and writing out everything that you have to do for your fixed schedules, and putting in something to say, okay, I got 3-4 hours of time right here. This is for me, and this is not for my kids. This is not for school. This is not for work. This is not for anything else other than myself right here. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for being in survival mode. Forgive yourself for the decisions that you had to make while you were in survival mode. Creation mode. This is a state of being in a space of presence. I wrote down some words that might describe what creation mode is. Calm, cool, collected, effortless flow, connected to true, authentic self, authenticity, and aligned with your purpose. There's no resistance there. We have an awareness in creation mode where we're able to make conscious decisions. We're more present for ourselves. We are centered. You know what I mean? There's not something that's always feeling like pressured all the time. But again, that pressure doesn't have to be a bad thing. So today we went over what survival mode is, what creation mode is, 5 things that we can do to get out of survival mode if we notice that we are starting to be like your functioning, your well-being is interfered, or is coming in between what you have to do to function and be functional. So I think it's important to always stay educated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you next time.